Welcome back. In this task, you are going to build a user persona based on data. To do so, navigate to the workspace you created and use the Add button to add a new persona to your workspace. Now you'll see three sections here: journey maps, personas, and impact maps. We are going to add a persona. Make sure that the blank persona default is checked and add it to your workspace. You'll see a blank template persona filled with information that you supply about your user, information about his name, the market size the user persona occupies, the personality, the photograph, goals, demographic information, a quote from your user interview with this user, background information, motivations and frustrations, brands influencers, skills, technology browsers, and channels. Always remember that your user persona is best built based on data. It's always advisable to conduct some form of user research, either as user interviews, surveys, industry reports, or other ethnographic studies to identify the attributes of your user persona. This will ensure that you are solving a real problem for a real person that exists in your target market. I have here a Google file that shows information that I have compiled about the specific user that this customer journey map is about. So I'm going to build my persona in UXPressia based on this data. Let's go back to UXPressia. Now for the name, I can fill in a name by typing in a name here. Or I can use the generate icon to generate a name for my user. Okay, so since my user is in the United States and I'm going with a female user, I'll click on the female button, female checkbox here. And then I'll click on generate. To generate a name for me, which I'll add to my file, to my template. So you'll notice now that my user has been given a random name of an American female. Now, based on the data that I collected, this person now occupies 45% of a 14 million sized market. I'm going to add the personality. You can decide which personality best represents your user persona. I'm going with a rational person. Now click on the add button to add rational to this personality. The next things I'm going to add is the photograph. I'll click on add photo button and I can either upload an image that I have or I can use the UI faces preset, which is what I'm going to do in this file. I'm going to click on a female that is aged between 30 and 33. I'm going to go with a brown haired female who has a smiling face. And then I'll click on this generate icon. It will generate a range of faces for me to choose from representing my user. I'm going to select a random face. Let me go with this face. So I now have a random face that was automatically created for me through the preset, the UI faces preset. And then now I'm going to fill in the remaining information in this template based on the data I collected. First, I'm going to fill in demographic information. She's a female in the United States, aged 32 years. I'll type 32. Marital status, she is married. Occupation, she's a financial analyst. Financial analyst. come she earns about $6,000. Yeah. Notice there's other information that I have gathered about her, and there is no space in the template to reflect that information. Look at this demographic information here. It says she already owns a car, she lives in Austin, Texas, she's married and she has a child. Okay, I've reflected that she's married, but I haven't reflected that she already owns a car, she has a child, and that she lives in Austin, Texas. If I want to add extra information to the demographic information here, I can click on the add field button. I can either add a text, a list, or a number. Well, I'm going to add text. So I'm going to type here now that it's text field that says she had. That says she already owns one car. How easy it is to add demographic information about your user to the template. So now let's move over to this section and fill in information about our user, about goals, quotes, background, motivations, frustrations, and so on. Now, to add information about the goals, when you click on this space, you'll notice a floating button with a plus sign that shows you an option of information that you can add to your template. This information includes image, tables, unordered lists, numbered lists, and lines. I'm going to add an unordered list to write the goal of this user. To understand the goal of my user, I can always consult the document I have here. The goal says, buy a bigger car conveniently and securely without breaking her wallet. That's what Christine Jimenez's goal is. So I'm going to write that here. That's how easy it is to add information about our user. So this way I'm going to add information from this Google file to my user persona. Okay, so I've filled in information about Christine Jimenez. I've written her goals. I've added a quote from my interview with her. I've given information about her background. This where I talk about how she's a mother who realized that she needs a bigger car now that she has given birth to a new baby. And I've described her motivations and her frustrations, also known as her pain points. Now I'm going to add in images of her brand influencers here, the people that she considers. And I'll click on the add image button and consult the project files here. Then you see the CarMax logo and the Carvana logo. So I'll click on the CarMax logo and click on open to add it to this page, because these are online car traders which will influence her decision to buy a car. Then I'll also go back to the file, click on Carvana and add Carvana also. So these are the brands, the online car retailers that influence her decision, and these are ultimately the competing brands with the business who is evaluating Christine's customer journey. So I've shown you how to add images, and I've also shown you how to add text to your user persona. Now let's move on to other aspects of the user persona. There's a section called skills where I could describe her skills, but it's not necessary for this persona. So I'm going to close it by clicking on this X marks that says remove section. I'm going to click on it and get rid of it. So I'm going to add in information about her technology, because if you study the data that I've gathered about her, she spends 50% of her time on her mobile phone, and then she spends 50% of her time on her PC. So I'm going to click on this button here, and then I'm going to pick an Android phone because that's what she uses. If she's an Apple user, you can click on the Apple icon. If she's a BlackBerry user, well, BlackBerry doesn't exist anymore. But you essentially pick an image representing the kind of phone that she uses. Then she doesn't use a tablet. She uses a Windows operating system. And then for television, she just uses Windows. You'll notice that when you select the technology, an icon representing the technology will appear under the icon that you added. So quickly, I'm going to move to the browsers she uses. I'm going to select Google Chrome as the browser she uses. I could type in information here, but I'm not going to. You can go ahead and type. I'm going to add in information about the channels she uses by clicking on the J icon. Now, as a heavy social media user, the most influential social brand she uses are Facebook. I think Facebook is a search. Add Facebook to the personal. Come back here and then I'll add Twitter. Social media channel she uses. And finally, I'm going to add YouTube. She watches a lot of videos. She watched a lot of videos online rather when she was going to buy a car. So I'll add YouTube. Congratulations, you have completed the second task. In this task, you learn how to create a user persona based on data. In the next task, you will add a customer journey map to your workspace and delineate your customer's journey through the process of buying a car.